This is our Planning Commission meeting of April 8th, 2015. Please call the roll.
Mr. Cappers.
Here.
Mr. Titterington.
Here.
Mrs. Mahan.
Here.
Mr. McGarry.
Here.
Mr. Forrest. Mrs. Johnson. Mayor.
Here. We have a quorum.
We have a quorum.
We have the minutes before us for our March 25th meeting. Are there any additions, corrections, or deletions to those minutes?
Move the minutes be approved as printed.
Second.
Motion and support. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. They are adopted. First matter to come before the commission is the historic district review of 101-107 East Main Street. The staff have a report.
We do, thank you.
Okay.
The applicant, which is the Redmond Club there on East Main Street in North Walnut, are proposing to repaint the entire exterior of the structure. They've chosen SW2909 Red Wing and SW6256 Sirius Gray as their colors. I do have a sample. If you would like to see the sample. Also in your packet, there was a rendition of where the paint and the different colors would be applied to the building. Staff recommends approval of the proposed exterior alterations. Colors will not detract from the historic integrity of the building, and they are suitable for the surrounding character of the historic district.
So the gray is going to be the building,
The main body of the building,
the red will be the trim.
the trim, and then the storefronts will be the red, kind of in reverse with the gray trim.
The storefronts,
The storefronts on the first floor,
yeah, I got that part. But the
main body of the building will be the gray.
main part of the storefronts themselves will be red?
That will be red.
Okay. Very Trojan colors.
Any questions for staff? Commission want to take any action on this thing?
Move to approve?
Is there support for the motion?
Second.
All those in, call roll. Go ahead.
Mr. Titterington.
Yes.
Mrs. Mahan.
Yes.
Mr. McGarry.
Yes.
Mayor.
Yes.
Mr. Cappers.
Yes.
Unanimous.
Next matter to come before the commission is historic district review of 108 East Main Street. Staff have a report.
We do. This is a store called the Blue Bow Boutique. They have had a sign approved by this board not long ago at a different location. They are moving across the street, across from where Mojo's is. It's going to be an identical type sign from what was there before. It is computer-generated colors, Pantone blue, black, and white. They're allowed to have a total of 33 square feet, which this sign will be 32 square feet, but it's going to be in the same style and design as what she had at her previous location. Staff does recommend approval for the wall sign based on all the characteristics.
Does commission members have any questions of staff?
Where is it going to be positioned?
It's going to be positioned right above the entry door. Next door to where Stafford's moved to, it was a store that had come in called Essentials that was there about a year ago. They have since gone out of business and left, and they're moving into that location. Even before that, it was the train stop, the whistle stop.
Is there anyone here present for the applicant that wants to speak? Did you want to speak, or you okay? Well, thank you. Appreciate it. Does the commission want to take any action on this matter?
I'll move to approve.
Second.
There's a motion and second. Any further discussion? Please call the roll.
Mrs. Mahan.
Yes.
Mr. McGarry.
Yes.
Mayor.
Yes.
Mr. Cappers.
Yes.
Mr. Titterington.
Yes.
Unanimous.
Next matter to come before the commission is the historic district review of 211 East Water Street, the former Waterstone Pottery Studio. Staff have a report.
We do. Ethan Smith, who is here today, is opening the store under the name of Smith Fly. It will be fly fishing type of equipment, retail sales. He is proposing two different signs. One's going to be a wall sign. There is an existing cabinet above the doorways along the wall that has been used in the past. He's going to reface that with a new sign as shown in the packet, or the sample in the packet. Also, there's going to be a window sign. I know that some of the information for the design of that indicates that it would be painted on the glass, which is not allowed. It will be vinyl and it will be adhered to the glass. The colors are green and black. It's computer generated. The green is a PMS 368. He has allowed a total of 60 square feet. The two signs combined are 32 square feet. It's well below what's allowed. And based on everything, the staff does approve, recommendation for approval.
Any questions of staff?
Mr. Chair?
Yes.
Do you have a better rendering of the sign itself that they turned in?
This is what I have.
Okay, this is on here. Do you have an original copy that we can see? I know it's brighter than what it shows up in our PDFs.
A better print, if you'd like to see.
That would be great, just to see it. This is a rather unique color, so.
Are you Mr. Smith? Would you like to say anything else, or are you okay?
Not, I think that sums it up.
All right.
We do have at least one other location that does have a almost identical color of green, albeit not to the extent that this sign does have. Basil's on North Market. Their symbol has a bit of green along with the green trim.
Is that the
above.
same color?
It's not, I don't know if it's identical, but it
It's
is very,
close.
very comparable.
And the wall sign will not be lit?
Correct.
Any other questions for staff or Mr. Smith? Sir? Thank you.
I'll move approval.
There's a motion to approve. Is there support for the motion?
Second.
Any further discussion? Please call the roll.
Mr. McGarry?
Yes.
Mayor?
Yes.
Mr. Cappers?
Yes.
Mr. Titterington?
Yes.
Mrs. Mahan?
Yes.
Unanimous.
Okay, next we have a historic district review of 3 East Water Street. The staff have a report.
We do.
Fire away.
Yes, this is a business that came to be very recently called Zeal Coaching. Christine Shell is the owner of this. The ground sign that's being proposed is shown in your packet. Will replace the other ground sign that you can see in that photo. There's a freestanding sign with just a post. That will be removed. She's requesting to install a single-face ground sign as shown. They are computer-generated colors, but the main color will be Roland RBW DK30K, processed yellow, blue, and black. There will be appropriate landscaping provided around this ground sign. Total for the ground sign is 11.4 square feet. She's allowed up to 42 square feet, so she's well below. Staff does recommend approval based on the appropriateness of the location and the color.
I see the sign will not be illuminated, is that correct?
Correct.
Not even any ground lights, right?
To my understanding, no.
Okay. Any questions of staff?
Of course. Mr. Chair.
You're right ahead, Mr. Tibbetts.
I'm looking at the picture, the one you just referred to, Dwayne, that has the T-post.
Yes.
So that's going to be removed, but with the way that this has been superimposed, I guess, on the picture, which is fine, is that, so it'll sit that far lower than where the other sign would have hung?
Yes.
The height is 5 feet.
5 feet tall, as opposed to, what is this post? How tall is that
I'm gonna say
post?
That post is,
Probably 8 feet.
yeah, it's going to say it's
All right.
7 to 8.
So it's not really to scale, but it's, I see. And if you look at the rendering, the sign itself will be contoured and be semicircular at the top. The white, I mean, it shows up here as a rectangle with white outline. That's just because you picked it up and pasted it.
Well, that was supplied.
So it'll be that shade.
The color portion is the shade.
Yes.
Great.
Ma'am, you mind please identifying yourself?
Oh, I'm sorry, I'm Christine Shell.
Okay, and your address, please?
My home address?
That'd be fine.
1205 Hillcrest Drive, Troy.
Did you have anything else you wanted to add to the presentation?
No, I'm sorry.
No, that's fine. Great, thank you. Commission members have any other questions for either staff or the applicant?
I noticed that Mrs. Oda is in the audience as the owner of the property. I noticed that she's certainly given her consent. It wasn't signed, though, and I just want to make sure that she's confirmed it.
I confirm it, I can come up there and sign it right now.
I thought that, but, we've always asked for property owners to give consent, and I noticed that. Thank you.
I'll move for approval.
There's a motion to approve. Is there a second?
Second.
Any further discussion? I will, as a matter of discussion, indicate that the application now contains a signature for the property owner, and Mrs. Oda has signed that.
She does?
On the application.
It's on the
Yeah.
application, but I was reading the letter.
Sure.
Okay.
Please call the roll.
Mayor,
Yes.
Mr. Cappers.
Yes.
Mr. Titterington.
Yes.
Mrs. Mahan,
Yes.
Mr. McGarry.
Yes.
Unanimous.
Okay, next matter to come before the commission is a rezoning request for parking lot 9891 on Pickle Troy Road. Does the staff have a report?
We do, thank you.
You're welcome.
Jessica Meinsinger, president of Nottingham Development, is in the audience. I'm sure she'll be happy to answer any questions we have. If need be, she's applied for a rezoning from the planning commission it's a part of in-lot 9891. It's parcel D45002548. It's 25.422 acres. It's located just west of Pickle Troy Road. The area is kind of here on the map to point it out. It's this area right here. And the goal is to have an extension of Nottingham, which is currently over here, and bring it out. Currently, the surrounding zoning districts include A2, which is county zoning of general agricultural. That's to the north. We have R4, single family, to the west, which is currently Nottingham. Below it, to the south, is OC1, and then across the street on the east is AR, which is agricultural residential, and those are city zoning districts. The R3B district allows 12,000 square foot lots per dwelling units. The R3B is it's less dense than the R4 that's currently in Nottingham, so it will be a less dense development than that currently is there. And when you look in the comprehensive plan, which is what we utilize when we look at rezonings, it discusses the desired future residential development for this area is low density residential. When we look at further in the comp plan, it discusses that due to the characteristics of the land and adjacent uses to the south, the existing roadwork network cannot support unrestricted or increased numbers of similar residential densities. With future road improvements to the road network, however, high densities could be accommodated, and we are making great improvements to the intersection out there. If you've been out there in the last 3 or 4 months, you probably noticed the road tore up and is being currently completed, in the process of being completed. So we are making the improvements out there. We do think the road network will handle the development, and there are several things that this actually helps us, in my opinion, with. One is it provides a second point of ingress and egress for the residents of Nottingham to Troy, Pickle Troy Road, so it would come through here and come out there. It gives us that opportunity, and it also lets us allows us to require the looping of the utility lines in the area, which is something we like to do as well. So based upon that and the fact it's consistent with the intent and purposes of the comprehensive plan and the zoning code, staff does recommend approval, and we are not recommending a public hearing because the city council would be required to, and this is a pretty straightforward rezoning.
Any questions of staff?
Mr. Chair?
Yes, Mr. Titterington.
Okay, so the requested rezoning, that is not the entire dark green area that's shown here, is it?
No, it is strictly just to this point here.
So straight
It's
across.
north of the OC1, yes, where the black line is. It's kind of an outline of where the development will end.
Only over to Troy Pickle Road.
Correct.
Okay.
And then if you can't make it out, this Troy Pickle Road runs right there.
Okay, and the rest of the dark green is AR and would continue to be AR?
That's correct.
Why is the R1 zoning there?
Do what?
On the other side of the road, why are we having the R1 zoning there?
A1, AR?
Yeah, it's actually AR.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah, the R1 is actually where Halifax is being developed.
Gotcha, I couldn't read that.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Okay, any other questions of staff? Does the applicant want to say anything? I'm a little disappointed in you now
You are, I'm sorry.
for saying something.
I'm Jessica Meinsinger with Nottingham Development, 7 South Plum Street here in Troy. So it is 25 acres. We are requesting the R3B zoning. Nottingham has really been developed closer to the R3B zoning. And these lots would run, we have a preliminary layout of lots, On the 25 acres, we would develop about 50 lots. So that is 2 lots to the acre on the general density. Lots would run a minimum of 12,000 square feet to over 25,000 square feet. The subdivision, the 25 acres would be developed as 3 future sections of Nottingham under the current Nottingham covenants and restrictions. Nottingham has really been a great success. My company bought Nottingham starting with Section 4. Over the last 6 years, we've averaged about 12 building permits a year out there. So of the total number of building permits pulled in Troy, Nottingham represents about 20%. Price range in Nottingham is running $275,000 to $400,000. So it's a nice addition to the community, building at a very consistent rate. And even really through the depths of the recession, we saw good sales and good interest in Nottingham. So that really fueled our desire when we were offered the 25 acres to continue the development. And as Tim pointed out, it just completely makes sense to add another means of ingress and egress for current Nottingham residents. And so we would look at developing it in 3 future phases of about 17 lots apiece. It does loop the utility lines. It gives us the option gives the city the option of removing the lift pump station in the future that currently exists in Nottingham. So there's a lot of positives. That doesn't affect the office commercial zoning to the south, nor would any of the land further to the west be available to us. So we would develop them as the final 3 phases of Nottingham. Yeah, it's pretty cut and dry. My map is a little clearer. This is the existing Nottingham subdivision. You can see that. It's 159 lots. So we've just gotten approval for the final phase of Nottingham, which is 19 lots. This is the 25 acres. This is the OC1. And that's how we would look at the connector. So you're not approving a preliminary plan, but from our standpoint, we need to look at what the development layout would be and for our planning purposes.
Any questions of the applicant while she's there? Any other questions of staff? Thank you, Justin.
This question for Jill. I know we'll probably look into this more when we get the preliminary plat. Tim mentioned the fact that Troy Pickwa Road, we are straightening out the intersection at Troy Urbana, but given the activity that we would expect to have at the new outlet from, I guess, will it be an extension of Loxley to Troy Pickwa? I'm assuming that we will be looking at traffic flow and whether some decel point might be needed for a right turn into that development, since in that area we are at 45 miles an hour.
Yeah, so we will work with the county. At this point, I'm not certain, is the east side of the road in the city?
Yeah, it's all in.
Okay, sorry. So we will be working with the county, but also the OC1, all of it's in the city.
Yes.
We will be looking at road improvements on further out to look at the traffic impact study and
Okay.
to kind of see how it's going to affect the street. Yeah.
Thank you.
Mr. Chair, I see our chief back in the back. I can almost imagine this will be a good thing for you, Chief, in terms of that development and access points. And I just want to, get your take on things with this.
Absolutely. I mean, we're more concerned with the ingress, but we have a fire station right there where it says OC1. So I mean, it's a very clear choice that we would have very easy access in from a time perspective, but also that time not just for the residents but the safety of the firefighters also.
Okay, I thought it would be a big safety enhancement for.
That would provide a great ingress for us, that we don't have to circle all the way back around to Shaftesbury.
Right.
We would be definitely in favor of another ingress into it.
Thank you.
Thank you, Chief.
Thank you.
Okay, first matter for consideration of the commission is whether or not we want to hold a public hearing Does the commission want to take any action on that? So we'll have a public hearing.
I move that we not have a public hearing, provided that the council will have one.
Which they will. Is there support for that motion? Support. Any further discussion on that issue? Please call the roll.
And a yes vote is for not having a public hearing.
Correct.
Mr. Cappers?
Yes.
Mr. Titterington?
Yes.
Mrs. Mahan?
Yes.
Mr. McGarry?
Yes.
Mayor?
Yes.
Motion is unanimous. Commission will not hold a hearing.
Okay. Now, we can make a recommendation to City Council, not make a recommendation. What's the commission want to do on this issue?
Make a recommendation that council approve the rezoning.
Is there support for the motion?
Support.
There's a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Please call the roll.
Mr. Titterington?
Yes.
Mrs. Mahan?
Yes.
Mr. McGarry?
Yes.
Mayor?
Yes.
Mr. Cappers?
Yes.
Unanimous.
Does staff have anything else to come before the commission?
Nothing further, thank you.
Do the commission members have anything they want to discuss?
No, sir.
Hearing nothing else, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
We stand adjourned.